Hello, Detroit Dinner Church. Here's my question for you today. Would you rather play a bit part in a big story than a big part in a story that doesn't matter? Let me say that again. Would you rather play a bit part in a big story, or would you rather play a big part in a story that doesn't matter? My father-in-law is a farmer. And I think farmers get a bad rap because I've watched my father-in-law. He works all the time, 24/7, every day, 7 days a week, all the time, holidays. He never gets a break. And I don't know if I've ever told him thank you or anybody's ever told him thank you. And most of us have very little idea what farmers do, but we all survive because of what farmers do, that's for sure. You know, most of us dream of being like Enoch from Genesis 5. Enoch was this guy who was at the top of his game. He was a winner. He was set apart. Like he was the best of the best, better than everybody else. It says that Enoch walked so closely with God that when it came time for the end of his life, he didn't die. He just kind of stepped right into heaven. And most of us think about our careers or what we do like, that's the kind of person I want to be. I want to be the top of my game. I want to be the one that gets it done. I want to be the winner. But most of us typically come to the realization that we're not so much like Enoch, we're more like Enosh. He's also written about in the book of Genesis chapter 5. And it says about Enosh that he lived, he had a family, and then he died. In fact, most of the people in that section of scripture, it says the very same thing. They lived, they had a family, and then they died. Nothing spectacular, nothing out of the ordinary, just normal lives. And if you're like me, you probably bump up against that often, where you say, I'm not the big champion, I'm just a normal person. Some of Jesus' followers, 2 of them in fact, came to him. And they came and they said, Jesus, we want to be great. And we're asking that you would give us positions of power and authority. And Jesus looked at them and he said, you know, that's not for me to give. You're talking about your story. But my story is the bigger, better story. And often we come to Jesus that same way, or you know, we hunger, we wish that we could be something bigger and greater than we are. But Jesus always comes back, and what he says to them, he said to us, wouldn't you rather play a bit part in a big story rather than a big part in a story that doesn't matter? May this week be filled with moments where you serve one another, where you love someone who's hurt you, where you feed the hungry, where you encourage the lonely, where you heal the broken. Because what you do, no matter how small it seems to you, it matters. It matters to God. It matters to His story. And may you feel the smile of God, because instead of a big part, you chose a bit part in the best story of all.